So in case you missed it, earlier today, Piss4400 recorded a live stream, and in it he was talking about this email that Gorgeous George sent him, and believe it or not, this video is actually pretty decent. He goes on and on, line by line, as he typically does in a lot of his videos. It stops and answers certain points. And quite often I feel like Piss4400 misses a lot of points. And in this case, though, he's pretty dead on most of them. And the interesting thing, too, is that... well, let me just read this email, and I will stop and answer sort of the way Piss was doing and offer my own critique. So here's the email. Jeremy, first of all, bud, you and are nothing like. Now, in the video, Piss4400 points out how poorly written this first sentence is, and it's extra amusing because he has trouble reading and writing himself, but it's even obvious to him what a terrible sentence that is, and he goes on to point that out quite accurately, I might add. Do you own a house, business, and have lady friends you date? Now, here's the thing. Do you own a house? Well, maybe Piss4400 doesn't own a house, but a certain other person is undergoing foreclosure, and barring some miraculous feat in court, he's going to lose that house. I mean, essentially he already did, but yeah, I think there's a case going on right now about that. And as far as lady friends, this is the same guy that if those posts on Encyclopedia Dramatica are true, and I think even Sarah Metz might have said something like this, and I don't remember for sure. Somebody, I'm sure, will point it out. But definitely that series of emails with Tracy, or whatever her name was, on Something Awful, he was asking her to kiss him on camera and off camera and ruffle his hair and do all these things that she didn't want to do. And you know, if he's doing it with her, making her agree to those terms to be on the show, then of course he's doing it to somebody else. So, you know, you're somebody that has to go to those lengths to get women to act that way. I gotta guess they don't have that many lady friends. When was the last time you had sex? And I'm not talking about cyber sex or masturbation or that blow-up doll. And this is another one where Piss just brilliantly skewers him, bringing up that he doesn't own that Piss doesn't own a blow-up doll, and instead points out that George has been gifted a blow-up doll from Kevin for his birthday. So that's pretty amusing and a great observation by Piss. I'm educated and I have different talents. You don't. So if you are a loser, that's you. I'm a winner and have been since the day I was put on this earth. I think Judge Gibney and Judge Hannah M. Locke and the OG judge, and his name is escaping me right now, might disagree with that, as would all those losses in court and all those losses, the loss of the home. Let's see, where was I? I've had some heartbreaks, and things not always go my way, but for most part have been successful in my endeavors. Which ones are those? Ride-em Cowboy? I'd like to know what those were, because, you know, a show that's been on for 20 years that's never gone any further than public access, and radio shows that are paid for out of your own pocket, I wouldn't really call those successful, especially when they don't lead to any other work. Stop talking about me and mentioning me out of your hole. If not, I will reach out and smack you without actually doing it. So this is a really ineloquent way of saying, of making a threat without it actually being a threat, but it's pretty graceless, and I don't know, you could really argue that this is a real threat. I mean, it almost sounds like he's talking about hiring a hitman again. If not, I will reach out and smack you without actually doing it. So what, he's going to hire somebody else to do it? Yeah, that's brilliant. I wonder how Judge Gibney would react if he saw this. I'll give you hint. It's so weird. He doesn't like to use the word a. I'll give you a hint instead of I'll give you hint. Derek Warren. Santoria knows who that is because they created you about 28 years ago. Santoria, that's kind of a pretty name. Anyway, I don't see what this obsession with people's parents are. You know, it's like the little kid that goes and just tattles about things. I don't get it. I don't understand why that would bother Piss4400, and it really didn't seem like it did, and for good reason. I'm sure Derek has been kept a secret from you by Santoria, but I will unleash him on you if you don't shut your fucking mouth. Okay, and that's supposed to impress who? You think what Troy Kimball does to you is an issue. Just wait what I will do if you don't shut your fucking mouth. Oh, wow. So, I don't think Troy Kimball does anything all that bad, and it doesn't seem to bother Piss4400 that much. His skin is thicker than that. So what is George insinuating here? I don't know. That seems, again, like a threat, like a blatant threat, to do some kind of harm to Piss4400. You know, he's trying to dig up information on him, and it's bizarre. And I think one of the things that got him so angry is that Piss4400 said that they're alike, and that George is a loser. Now, I'm not saying that myself. I'm trying to be very diplomatic in this video. But that's one of the things that seems to have ruffled his feathers, is that Piss4400 said they were similar. And truthfully, they really are. One way, and Piss4400 can be quite hypocritical, complaining about people spamming him. They both are gigantic hypocrites, but he complains about people spamming him and sending him the same messages over and over. When meanwhile, he tried to spam me. He was blocked, but he made videos about spamming my videos, spamming messages, writing like K's over and over, or Q's or whatever it was, and just over and over and over. And he was absolutely convinced that I was the one that reported his channel when I had nothing to do with it. And so he's doing all these things to me out of spite, because he thinks I've been harassing him. When he finally found out, it didn't drive it home that maybe he should just wait until he's sure about things before accusing people, because he still accuses me of things to this day, like I think being in collusion with other goons to spam his channel and shit like that. And on the flip side, George was convinced that I was telling Piss4400 about fair use and such, and I haven't, like Piss4400 had said in another video, I haven't had private contact with him in several months, and ever since the Bill Bellum thing, I haven't spoken with him via email or anything. So they're both convinced that I'm some sort of boogeyman, which is just bizarre. I haven't had a whole lot of time to do much of anything, online or not. I've been wrapped up with other things. So they both have that in common. They both have issues with when it comes to writing and understanding the written word. They both have a loose understanding of the law. I think it might have been in this video or another one where Piss4400 was saying first degree arson it meant it was the first time you ever committed arson. And I'm not going to bother explaining what first degree when it comes to crimes means, but that's not what it means. Yeah, just lots of similarities. Neither one of these guys is a ladies' man, and I don't say that to take a dig at either one of them, especially Piss. His circumstances are different than everybody's, and you know, I feel bad for him, but it's not a fake feel bad like it is with George. George feels the need to send threatening emails. When Piss talks shit about me, I just I really don't care. I let it roll off my back. And instead, when it comes to George, he has to resort to these kinds of threats, implying that he's going to hire a hitman or whatever. Just totally bizarre. Yeah, I could say more, but it might be worth it to people to watch Piss's video, some of it anyway. It's a good watch, and he makes a lot of really good observations, much better than any I've ever seen by George, just, you know, to contrast the two of them. But they are quite similar, and Piss really nailed it. And I think Sean was the first one that said that Piss was the mini GG, and he really is. I think he has good intentions in some cases, but they do have a lot of similarities. Anyway, I'm repeating myself, so I'm going to sign off here. This is the Captain, signing off.